You coach a lot of guys with, performance issues. What's the most common performance issue, and then what is the way you usually help them fix it, heal it, if you will?
Well, it's the most common would probably be the performance anxiety stuff, like I talked about a minute ago. But if I'm good, the second most common one with younger guys, especially, is what you touched on a minute ago, which is like an inability to ejaculate, what we would call delayed ejaculation, and that is a direct consequence of pornography usage. And I'm going to be the first one to say it right here. Like, a porn star's telling you, stop fucking jerking off the porn. I'm going to be the one to tell you that.
Dude, it is it's so, dude, like when I was younger, man, I would beat my dick like it owed me money, bro. I would I'm talking like 6 times a day. I would go to ampland.com and I would just fucking go to the busty Asian section or the lesbian section or the blonde section. And just, it was me versus Dick, and Dick lost every time. And it was like, because I know there are guys out there that are like super horny and stuff, but the thing is, by fucking beating your dick like that, it causes damage to your dick too. I don't think a lot of people realize that the excessive masturbation, you know what I mean?
It fucks you up, man. Look, you can see charts of this. You can plot a chart of like erectile dysfunction issues in men under the age of 30 across like a timeline, and you can it just spikes the moment that Pornhub came onto the scene.
Really?
It's like so obvious. It's like, yeah, correlation doesn't equal causation, but what else did that? What else is causing this? Like, it's pretty fucking obvious. As soon as you get these like streaming, high definition streaming porn sites on the internet, free porn sites, boom, rates of erectile dysfunction in dudes under 30 skyrocket, and then you get this massive prevalence of delayed ejaculation, which is the inability to orgasm. And
wow.
and I'll tell you, I'll give you more confirmation of that I'm correct, because I work in the sex industry. I work with like a lot of my co-stars, escorts on the side, and they tell me this. They tell me, yeah, dudes, like older clients are the easy ones, because the older clients that never had this. Dudes who are like 50 plus, that generation, their problem was premature ejaculation. Their problem was, this is too exciting and they come too quickly. So they like the older clients. They don't like the younger clients, because the younger clients, they're fucking sitting there jerking them off for like a fucking hour trying to get them to ejaculate, because they can't. Because it's not exciting and stimulating enough for their brain. They have this problem with like overstimulation. They have this problem with like 12 different porn tabs open up on your computer is more novel than one beautiful woman in front of them. And so it's the novelty response. You train your brain to require so much novelty that the real world just isn't stimulating enough for you in the bedroom, which is a real fuck up. So I tell guys to fucking quit that shit, get off of it. Or if you're really, really having a problem with it, addiction to it, whatever, like I give guys like a sort of a way to wean off of it. And I call it like resensitization, progressive resensitization. Like, you want to resensitize yourself to sexual stimuli to the point where like reading an erotic novel should give you a boner. Like reading an erotic short story should get you excited. And that's, you're depending upon the beautiful thing with that. Because what I baby step guys through is I go from like, say, okay, you're fapping to porn all the time, all right? Now what I want you to do is, rather than going like, if you can't go cold turkey if you can, by all means. But if you find that hard, okay, for the next week, you're only allowed to pick like one video. You can't have like a dozen videos. Just pick one, bang, first one, that's it, right? Then for the next week, just pick a photograph. And you have to like, because then they have to start engaging their brain, their own imagination a little bit, right? And then for the next week, just do erotic short stories. And it's even more, they have to engage their own imagination and their own like internal stimulus, rather than relying on varied external novel stimulus. And the other beautiful thing that does, actually, if I progress a guy through that kind of system, is it makes them dependent upon themselves for their boner, because they're relying upon their own imagination and their own brain, like their own stimulus in their head, That is very powerful because that is a tool. Now you have a tool for getting a boner whenever you need it, your own damn imagination, rather than needing a certain external stimulus to achieve that same response. If the woman isn't like, oh, she's not beautiful enough, or she's being a cunt, or she's being a bit annoying that day, or whatever it might be, but you still want to give her the business, well, now you've got a tool. Now you have your imagination that you can actually use to get the job done, right? So it has a double-edged sword to it in a way.